That was kind of a curious game to me. So basically to recap, we had 10-15 gate into like DTs with 2 base arbiter into just massively passive game from both sides. Maybe Mind was just, despite not really harassing or anything, was just a little bit ahead from not taking any damage from the 10-15 or from the DT rush. When his first attack came out, Tyson wasn't quite ready. But I mean, they were both passive for so long that I feel like, I don't know, maybe Tyson just skimped on a couple of rounds of units to mass up his carriers or something to save supply for his carriers. Because sometimes in that kind of situation, despite having like a million bases and a really insane income, sometimes you just like let yourself sit below max because you want to build like carriers. You want to use the supply for carriers. You don't want to max out on ground armor. You want carriers, but you don't necessarily have enough stargates to pump everything out simultaneously. So you end up in a weird situation where you're actually at like 170 supply, despite having enough bank to make more units, but you don't want to make the units. And then suddenly the turn moves out and it's too late, and you don't actually have any units, and then you're like, and the carriers aren't ready yet, obviously. So it becomes kind of a tricky situation. I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out reasons why Tyson looked so weak during the first move out by Mind. Anyway, I believe we are now on Fighting Spirit for this deciding game. Of course, winner of this game goes on to the winner's match, and loser goes on to the loser's match. And then in the second series of the group, we will have Beast versus Pure, I believe. Yeah, I think it's Pure. Yeah, I don't think Pure would have much chance against either of these two players, but Beast certainly might. On a good day, Beast is actually pretty darn good, but I guess we'll talk about that when the next series starts. So let's see what happens this game. Fighting Spirit, not nearly as good a map for sneaky strats like proxying as Mist and Electric Circuit are, I think. But on the other hand, since all the players are most comfortable on Fighting Spirit, it does allow a little bit more creativity and freedom, I feel. That's why you generally see the crazy strats from Haya, like, 3-port Wraith into Bio against Protoss. He only does that on Fighting Spirit. I mean, you could argue that, well, that's because he only plays Fighting Spirit on his stream. But still, I don't think he'd do that on other, well... I think Fighting Spirit, the familiarity with it, allows you to more comfortably do things like that. Anyway. So far, so good. No craziness. The Probe Scout is actually coming out after the core and the second pylon, so it's a really late Probe Scout, which indicates to me that it's just going to be a normal fast expand, which won't have any kind of significant deviations. I think it's just going to go to like an expansion, then obs, and then play a very normal game. Because if you do that, you're not really varying your build much, regardless of what you scout early, so there's no reason to actually send out the very fast probe. So I think that's what's happening. And interestingly, we actually had 2 SUV scouts here from Mind. I don't think that's completely necessary in TVP, but considering how cheesy Tyson's been playing, Proxy Reaver into 10-15 gate followed by DT Rush, it's probably a safe thing to do. But you can see there's actually nothing crazy going on. We just have a Dragoon range on the way, and a Nexus, I would imagine, will follow shortly after. Although it looks like the SCV does manage to escape. With only one goon with no range isn't able to catch it. And the probe will get warded away by some Marines before it can scout too much. It does see 3, I'm not sure if it's saw the 4th Marine there, but seeing that many Marines, I think you can probably safely assume that this is going to be an FD. Siege Expand or even a 2-fact will often not even build 3 Marines, I think. 1 or 2 Marines and is fine. You want to save the minerals for the other things. Well, for 2-fact, you want to save the minerals for your second factory and your Vultures, and for Siege Expand, you just don't need that many Marines. It's not that useful. Anyway, we do have the fast expand from Tyson. As you can see there on the minimap, his natural has been planted. Now, it looks like he actually sent his goon to the 6 o'clock to see if an SUV was hiding there. It's a pretty common place for a scouting worker to hide, is at a third or basically at the 6 o'clock or at his 9 o'clock third. Just having a gander there, see if you can hunt it down. And on the other side, you can see a fast expand from Mind as well. So both players playing pretty standard. Looks like the SUV, though, having delayed itself a little bit, didn't get caught by that goon that checked the 6 o'clock and actually comes back around, scoots past 4 goons. It gets a complete scout of Tyson's base. But in this case, I think this is not the end of the world. He's actually not doing anything cheesy here. That will, of course, allow Minds to have a little peace of mind. Oh. Knowing that Tyson isn't doing anything crazy, but seeing the Nexus there probably would have confirmed that anyway. So we've got a few vultures sneaking around. I like that Mind is checking the 3 o'clock to make sure there's no hidden base there. Tyson has been playing pretty sneakily so far, again, so, you know, just making sure. And in the meantime, just laying some defensive mines here. Which is curious. I mean, he's essentially gone for an FD, but has completely skipped the whole initial pressure phase. When your first tank comes out, you're supposed to move out and pressure the Protoss a little bit. Instead, he's played it completely defensively. I'm not so sure about this. I feel like he might be playing a little bit too cautiously after the first 2 games. I wonder if this is partly because he feels like he's a better player than Tyson, which I wouldn't necessarily argue against. I think he, considering the recent results, he probably is a little bit better. But I'm not sure that this is the optimal way to play. And like Day9 says, even if you're playing against a worse player, you should still play the optimal builds. Don't just play super safe and suboptimal because you think you can win in the late game. It's not good. It's not good for your game. But here we go. Looks like Vulture's still checking around for hidden bases, and 3 other Vultures just poking around the front. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more action this time compared to last game. We won't have to just wait for like 20 minutes before they actually do something. It'll probably depend more on the Terran, I think. Because Fighting Spirit really lends itself well to a 3-base turtle style TVP. So, it's going to be so easy for mine to just camp, get the 12 o'clock, wait for a timing, like a 2-1 timing, and then move out. And he is making his Third Command Center his main, so he's going to float that out. I think he's just got 2 factories now, so he's definitely not thinking about any kind of mid-game attack. Just going to pressure a little bit with Vultures, do a little bit of harassment, try and keep the Protoss down a little bit while he just gets his own 3 bases up. And looks like, oh god, this is going to be brutal. Oh, it looks like a lucky spawn timing though. Ooh, very, very lucky. Lucky Tyson there. If those goons had spawned, 5 seconds later, these Vultures I think could have wreaked a lot more havoc. But now they're getting warded away fairly easily. That was highly fortunate. Anyway, so this one Vulture though is actually still gonna get a couple of kills here. 4 kills. And I think 5? Yes, 5 probe kills regardless, so that's still pretty good. Not quite as much as it could have been, but still pretty good. And we got a few goons at the 12 o'clock. Tyson knows, very common for Terrans to just get that 3rd base super quickly on this map. And so he's going to try and delay a little bit, because that is a high ground. So if you actually get goons up there camping a little bit, you can delay that command center quite significantly if the Terran's greedy and tries to take it with a very low siege tank count. In the meantime, it's like we got bunker up at the front. Ooh, nice little scan there. Grabs the observer. Looks like he also killed one of his own mines so he wouldn't bomb himself. All good stuff. Mine actually seems quite careful about this. I've seen him kill quite a few mines in just this one series. Really does not want those that friendly fire to happen. In the meantime, looks like we got a few units heading over to the 12 o'clock. You can see an Obs is seeing that, so Tyson is prepared. He's just going to delay that a little bit. Obviously, slow pushing from the low ground will allow the Terran to get that eventually, but just wants to lay down a little bit. Nice little catch here of a couple of probes, and ooh, it looks like it's not quite a tight wall. The goon isn't even blocking properly either, which is not ideal, obviously. Oh man, oh Oh god, if that mine had gone off like 2 seconds later, it would have blown up all of these probes. As it is, looks like we're gonna have some sick Vulture micro. No! Hero probe! Snaps that Vulture's neck. Oh man, that was a little bit lucky from Tyson again. Second bit of good luck that Tyson has had in dealing with Vultures. He's gotta be really careful though. These goons could actually get stuck here. Like, as in, they won't be able to leave without just dying. Getting obliterated by these siege tanks. What the hell is in that shuttle? Even if... There's no Reaver for sure. If there's 4 Zealots, I don't think it's gonna be enough. I think he should just leave. I think he's gonna lose all his... Actually, it's too late. I think he's just gonna lose all his goons. I don't think he's gonna do anything. There's way too much Terran stuff here for him to actually do anything. Mine's playing this far too carefully. Oh, man. Dude, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. It's not gonna work. You're just gonna die. You're gonna die. Oh, he's gonna bomb it. He's gonna bomb it. Oh, there's the big unsiege and there's the big re-siege. The unsiege obviously being completely useless. Oh my god, I might be completely wrong here. Tyson might have actually just killed everything. But it's unlikely. You see what I'm saying? You see, even though the bombs are really effective, the barracks was there blocking the back goons, and then the front goons just have to walk down the narrow ramp. I mean, he did kill a few tanks, and he is delaying the command center by a bit more. To be honest, I think that was basically the best engagement he could possibly have hoped for there. That was actually way better than I expected it to be. But there it is. That is that. Anyway, we have a 4th base going up for Mr. Tyson. So even if the Terran starts mining from his 3rd, at least the Protoss will have his 4th. We have 2 DTs here for some reason. I'm not really sure why. He is going Arbiters, which is correct. But I don't know why you would actually make 2 DTs here. This is actually quite late to be making them. By this point, DTs are actually not overly useful. The best you can really hope for is to get a lucky mine bomb off. I mean, I suppose you can try and just use them to like maybe block the ramp at the bottom right as well or something, but really DTs at this point in the game don't actually do very much. And they are quite expensive, of course. Anyway, this is a standard wall end of the 12 o'clock. Mine's gonna start mining that. Was quite significantly delayed. But nothing game changing, I don't think, because it did cost the Protoss a good number of units as well. And looks like one AT guy just gonna run through here. Probably gonna eat a couple of mine hits. And that's gonna be fine. Doesn't really matter. But, oh, we're gonna have a drop. We are gonna have a drop. You see, this game is already being much more active than the last game, even though both players are still kind of going for a similar macro long-term game plan. We're having a lot more harassment here. Meanwhile, it looks like I heard the Korean commentators getting really excited. They were hoping that the Vultures would just lay a mine in the mineral line there because a Zealot was there. That would just blown up all of the probes. But unfortunately, it was not to be. Oh, a nice little mine. A dropship catch attempt. Not quite working out for Tyson. Just slightly mistimed that, but a good idea nonetheless. You know what? The shuttle actually apparently from the earlier attack at 12 o'clock is still alive, chilling there. It's not going to have a Reaver, unfortunately, but just going to chill. Anyway, 4th base going to start running here for the Protoss against the 3rd base of the Terran. This is all very, very standard, very normal, basically even in this game. Protoss needs to be about a base ahead, as he is at the moment. And it looks like the harassment is done for the time being, which means we get to just chill and watch them just macro up. Looks like Tyson's actually taking the bottom right natural as well straight away. But he's not going carries this game. I think that's good. You don't really need to go carries on Fighting Spirit. Not a particularly carrier-esque map, I don't feel. A lot bigger open center. You see the middle of the map on Electric Circuit on the last map is actually a little bit deceptive. The very middle of the map is kind of open, but actually the normal push paths, if you're in close positions, PvT, are not directly through the middle. They're actually through the side corridors, which are actually quite difficult for Protoss to engage on the ground. Whereas Fighting Spirit is different. It's actually just completely open the middle. It's exactly as advertised. So a big ground army works a lot better, I think, on on Fighting Spirit than it does on Electric Circuit. Yeah, so I think Tyson at least is gonna avoid like the problem he had last game, where Terran kind of moves out and he's in an awkward place where he actually just doesn't have stuff. You can already see his ground army is pretty significant, and he's making a second source of gateways at the bottom right as well, so it's going to help him reinforce that much more quickly, and also have a second source of units to just go and flank and counterattack and whatnot. All pretty normal PBT strategy here. Meanwhile, I see something on the top right. I don't know if that's just a bit of a sneaky command center there. I think it's a bit of a mistake for Tyson not to have maybe an Obs or a Zealot just running around to the top right just to see if the Terran's trying to take those. Maybe a 9 o'clock probe getting taken out there. Note that the 9 o'clock base, even though it's sort of going towards the Terran, is still okay to take, because it's still like the Terran attack path for that base would still take him through the middle open areas, so it still allow a little bit of space for the Protoss to engage. Anyway, it looks like for the moment, Tyson's just going to be kind of keeping the mines back, keeping the Terran army back, just taking map control here. It's really up to the Terran at this point. There's not too much that Protoss can do at this point besides maybe try and get a lucky recall off, which is quite risky. I mean, you look at all these mines. I mean, if anyone watched the group with Sky in it last week, they'll know that, really Terrans nowadays are quite well prepared for these late game recalls and will mine up and turret up appropriately and just get good EMPs and stuff. So, it's at this point, the Protoss just kind of has to wait for the Terran to move out and then try and set his forces up in a way that he can get a decent engagement, and even if he loses the battle, he can at least reinforce. So that's why you have all those extra gateways going up at the bottom right. So now it looks like Mind is moving out here, and how is Tyson going to engage? This one engagement here could determine how the game goes. If Terran wins overwhelmingly, then he could just push straight through, kill a whole bunch of bases, and win the game. But normally what happens is the Protoss tries to trade down as much as possible, so the Terran will generally still win the big engagement, the maxed out battle, but if the Protoss kills enough units, he can reinforce fast enough to clean up the rest of the army. And oh my god, or he can just do that! Oh no, oh no! No, Mind, you were way too grouped up there. Oh god. That was absolutely brutal. Right after I said Terrans usually win this too. That was not even close to a win. Mind getting absolutely slaughtered by 2 massive storms and 2 massive stasis on his tanks. Oh man, Mind is now in huge trouble. He's gonna have to, and the thing is, he didn't even kill that many units. There's like a lot of Protoss left, so he can't even like go and rescue these units in stasis. Sometimes if the Protoss player doesn't have enough units left to kill the units in stasis, Terran can just send a bunch of reinforcements and actually save them. But, oh, it might actually work out. Oh, but he had the storms ready. Oh, he had the storms ready. It's going to be close, though. It's going to be, oh, no, it's not going to be close. No, I thought there was more Terran stuff at the back. It was not close. It was a stomp. And now Tyson has the map. Look at the mini-map. He's building bases everywhere. Whatever yellow thing was at the top right is now a Nexus. And Mind is dead. Mind is actually dead. But I gotta say, that was a pretty good engagement as far as the PvT goes. That's probably one of the best engagements you're gonna get in the late game there. I mean, I guess Mind could have EMP'd the Arbiters at least. I think the Templars were in a shuttle, so they couldn't have been EMP'd, but could have at least got the Arbiters, but still. Well executed attack there by Tyson. See, it's quite funny considering in the first 2 games he kind of cheesed, and then, in the last game he followed up with carriers. I mean, from what I've seen, his ground army control is just fine. I don't know why he has to goof around with all these sneaky strats. I mean, if he just plays like this, then he'll just win late game anyway, so seems good. Looks like Mind's not ready to give up yet. It is a deciding game, but it's a deciding game to see who goes to the winners match and who goes to the losers. So whoever loses this is still not out of the tournament, so it's really not that big a deal. Although considering the rest of the group is best of ones, I suppose it would be a little bit, it would definitely be more comfortable to head into the winners. Just help you avoid some of that randomness in best of ones. Anyway, so this top right base at least is gonna fall. Oh, unless we see like a defensive recall. Yeah, nice. Defensive recall. If he targets, no. Targeting Nexus still doesn't do it. Pretty sick. Oh man, look at this. I don't even know why Tyson's goofing off with these kind of moves. He should have a significant army advantage. So I don't know why he's just, you know, messing around here instead of just absolutely crushing all of these attempts to move out. Man, I thought for sure Mind would snipe those 2 Templars there, but apparently not. Anyway, it looks like Mind at least has is starting to push out again. It looks like he wants to take the 9 o'clock base here. You know, he's doing a bit of harassment. You can't really do too much here. With Tyson all over the map, but he's doing what he can, and even though his harassment isn't doing that much damage, it's at least distracting Tyson and causing the main army to just like to stay back and defend, so we can actually get that 9 o'clock. You can see his main army basically just walked straight over there, facing no resistance. So that's quite nice. Oh, he might catch a dropship for free. Not quite. Anyway, I really hope that Tyson just crushes this 4th base, this 9 o'clock, before it actually starts running. Because if Mind just turtles up and holds this base, we could see the game just drag out a lot longer. But then again, looking at the way Tyson's playing, it seems that he's completely fine with that. He's just taking all the bases. You know, taking 3/4 of the map. It's pretty good. Doesn't look like he wants to overly commit to any kind of attack here, which is sort of reasonable because a very easy way to actually throw away PVTs is to just attack relentlessly once you have an advantage, and then the Terran's amazing defensive efficiency just overwhelms you, and then you somehow find yourself losing the game. But in this kind of situation, it's just not going to happen. In the meantime, I have no idea what this vessel was doing. I really hope these Arbiters aren't just going to die with full energy, though. Come on, Tyson, wake up! Wake up! I don't even know what he's doing. Nothing else is happening on the map. He's walking around with a couple of goons. He's got the middle Nexus. He's not mining from it, so it's completely useless. I mean, Tyson's got to just not goof around too much, or he could actually still lose this. Alright, he's going to find a lot of tanks on siege here. The Arbiter does get EMP'd. Oh my god, the storms! Oh man, the storms have been absolutely brutal this game. Oh my god, getting so many tanks every single time. At least he's going to hold off this attack for now. But seriously, what is Tyson doing? His army looks really small right now, and I don't know why. He's got gateways everywhere. I mean, what he needs? I mean, if he just like, you know, takes it too easy now and ends up losing the game, that would just be really, really sad. But I would not put it past Tyson. I don't really see how it would be possible. But it's Tyson, you know. It's like the miniature version of Jaehoon, as I said. If anyone can do it, he can. We actually have a command center floating to the middle here. Oh, he's going carrier as well. That would explain it, I suppose. Huh, I did notice him building some buildings in the main mineral line earlier. I was wondering what that was. So, well, we've got carriers. And I mean, they didn't work in the last game, but even if the carrier, I mean, in this game the difference is he can actually support the carriers now with storms and dragoons and whatnot. So hopefully it's gonna be fine. I hope it doesn't let Mind just mine out the middle. I don't know what he's doing. He really should be like stopping these expansions. Okay, there we go. There's an attack at 9 o'clock. At least at 9 o'clock it'll be quite susceptible to carriers. But seriously, Tyson needs to just stop taking it easy. He needs to actually do something here. Hey, man, loving these storms from Tyson. See, this is just an awesome, awesome appetizer for the Jangbi storms that are going to be coming on Saturday. Because I believe Jangbi is in the group that's playing in 2 days' time, which I will be casting live. So pretty excited about that. But GG from Mind. Absolutely no response to the carriers. And Tyson takes game number 3 and goes on to the winners match. Pretty crucial, I think, because these were the 2 stronger players in the group. So basically, whoever won this first match would very likely win in the winners match, I think. Although since it's Tyson, I think if Mind, basically, right, for the next match I'm predicting Beast will beat Pure. And I think if Mind had played against Beast in the winners match, I think Mind would almost certainly have gone 2-0 out of the group. But with Tyson playing a best of 1 against a Zerg, I am not 100% convinced that he will win. I think Beast could just 2-0 the group, which would be amazing. Because that would mean that just like every prediction that the TL writers have written for SSL so far have been completely wrong. Which, well, not completely wrong, but at least partially wrong, which would make me giggle. Anyway, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. Of course, these Thursday casts are from VODs since I am at work when these games are played, so I can sadly not do them live. I guess well, I don't know. I don't know if we have an interview translation here. I don't think we do because it's not live. Anyway, skip ahead a little bit here. But yeah, the Saturday games though are casted live, so that's pretty cool.